Hello everyone, this is Team Black and Gold from KPRIET, and the project which we have made today is Auto PLC multi-agent code generation, and the theme we have chosen is narrative to IEC 61131 standard code generation. And in this project we are generating structured text code from natural English language. And this basically works with multiple agents collaborating with each other, planning and validating and generating data. The innovation that we have implemented is syntax validation and code simulation. Basically, the prompt that we have given now is write a structured text program for ABB AC 500 PLC. The program should use a start button at this port IO.0 and the stop button at port IO.1. The control motor output is at Q0.0. But when the start is pressed, the motor turns on and stays on until the stop button is pressed, even if the start is released. So let's click on the generate button to generate the code. So basically the prompt that has been given by the user is sent into the program, and now we can see the progress bar, and you can see the planning is being implemented. So the planner has made a plan for our generation. So basically we have selected the input outputs and the logic within it. Now after the planner has done it, the coder will generate the code and the validator will validate the code. So let us wait for it to do its job. So we are getting to the validating and finalizing point, and you can see that the coder has generated production level structured text for the IEC standard, and the validator has compiled and successfully validated if the program is syntactically and semantically correct. So this is the generated structured text code that we have right here, and this has a variable declaration and the logic behind it. So what we can do with this code is we can copy the code, we can download this as a structured text file, and also we can run the simulation. So we get the input and the output indicators, and these are the outputs that these are the inputs we have given, and these are the outputs we have given. So when you press on the start button, we can see that the motor is turned on and the timeline gets updated dynamically. And if you press on the start button again, the motor stays the same as by logic. The motor should only turn off when we click on the stop button. So when we click on the stop button, the motor gets turned off. So this is how we simulate the structured text by using OpenPLC. Now let us move on to the backend or the actual working of the code. So we have all of these agents: the coder agent, the knowledge agent, the planner agent, the retriever agent, the simulator agent, and the validator agent. All of these agents work hand in hand to actually generate the code and validate it properly. The compiler.py file is an interface for MATK-IC. The MATK-IC is an actual compiler which we use for compiling the actual generated structured text code. And we have the knowledge base which checks for the structured text standard or the IEC standard and checks if the code generated is actually under the IEC standard. And we have the linter right here, which is a concept which is used to check good practices and logic of the program. As we can see here, this is a project workflow diagram. So we get the narrative that we have given from the user, which goes into the planner agent, and if the data is not enough, it goes into the retrieval agent, and as soon as it receives enough data, it goes back to the planner agent, and it goes to the knowledge agent, and it checks if it generates a plan properly. So this is the planning phase of the narration. After that is done, if the data is obtained, it goes into the coder agent, and then the code is generated and it goes into the validator agent to check if the code is actually valid. If it is not, the multiple variants of the code is generated and it goes into the self-correction phase, and this is the generating phase. After that, the output is given to the user, which can be copied or downloaded as an ST file. It can also be simulated using the simulator agent. Let us go deep into the validator agent. This is how the validator agent works. So first a pre-compiler check is done, and then the MAT-IEC compiler actually compiles the code and checks for syntax errors. After that, we go into the custom linter to actually check if the generated code is under the standard of IEC 61131.